Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tim from OnlineTeacherDude.com, and I help lots of teachers get hired to teach online and help online teachers to grow and build their business. And I'm bringing you this video all about why people fail the Gogokid interview, because I have helped hundreds of Gogokid teachers get hired, and I have several videos on my channel related to the hiring process and tips and strategies for passing your interview. And more recently, I have seen people failing the interview than ever before. In fact, out of the people that end up doing the interview, the percentage of people that I see failing the interview is higher than the percentage of people that I see passing the interview. And I think this is because of a few very important reasons. An image was shared on one of the Gogokid Prospective Teacher Facebook groups recently, and I'm going to pop that up here so that you can take a look. And it sort of generally goes over 3 reasons why teachers are failing the interview. When I initially looked at the image, it didn't really give me a lot of information on specifics. I'm still wondering what has changed in the interview process or what has changed on their rubric in terms of ensuring that applicants meet the minimum requirement for a passing score. And as I delved more into these 3 things, I think that there is a lot of information to unpack in each of these components, and so that's what we're going to do in this video. But before we do that, I would really ask you to please subscribe to this channel if you have not already done so. We recently hit 5,000 subscribers because of so many of you supporting and contributing to this community, and I am so grateful for all of you for being here. Whether I have helped you get hired to teach online or I have provided some value in some videos that I've been making recently, I would just want to extend my gratitude to you for watching these videos, clicking subscribe, and for showing up. I do weekly lives as well on Mondays at 9 a.m. and I would love to see you there for one of my shows. As well, I would ask you to join my mailing list where I create content for online teachers, share what I'm up to and how I can better serve you. And you can do that by joining my mailing list at OnlineTeacherDude.com. I have a couple of freebies there as well, which you can enjoy. Just enter your name and email address and you will be on the list. And if at any time you want to unsubscribe, you are totally able to do that as well. Okay, so let's jump into the 3 reasons why you are failing your Gogokid interview, and stick around to the end where I'm going to give you really a tip that cannot be given more weight than I'm going to give it. I really work with my referrals that want that extra support to passing their Gogokid interview, and so I would love to do that for you as well. If you are one of those that have failed, you can wait 30 days and reapply. My information to apply is below. And if you are one of my referrals, please make sure you have checked out my hiring resources on my website, as well as gone through some of my training videos and looked at my slide walkthroughs where I give you further tips to make sure that you are passing that interview. Okay, in the first category, they cite professionalism for one of the reasons why Gogokid applicants fail the interview. Now, under professionalism, the first thing that they cite is lack of preparation or not being prepared enough. And I think this comes down to the fact that it is very difficult to get a Gogokid interview in the first place. And so what happens is a lot of applicants will go for the interview first and then prepare. And so by doing this, you might be grabbing a last-minute spot for an interview, or you might be getting a time that's not the most convenient for you, and you end up showing up unprepared. So to avoid this, I would really suggest that you prepare for the interview first. So go through the demo slides, make sure that you are very comfortable with how you're going to teach the content and that you have honed in on those online teaching skills. Once you feel fully prepared, then I would jump in and look for one of those interview slots and schedule an interview. Now, if you're having trouble scheduling an interview, I have a video up here where you can go and watch some further tips for scheduling your interview. But guys, it really comes down to checking often. I don't have any inside secrets or any sort of solutions to getting an interview, but checking often. And as I said, being prepared first and then scheduling, because if you are prepared, you're more likely to feel confident in taking a slot that is kind of last minute, or maybe a cancellation from someone else, or at a time that's not very convenient for you, but preparation really is going to be key for success. Okay, they also cite relying too heavily on the teacher tips. So again, that kind of goes into not being prepared, but my tip for this is to not memorize the teacher tips. I want you to go through the slides and really make associations with the slide itself with some strategies that you're going to use to help the student. Remember that every student is different and you really need to be adaptable and flexible. Okay, and finally they cite lack of classroom preparation and teaching environment. And so this really goes down to being fully prepared. If you have gone through the VIP Kid hiring process, you will know that there's a lot less emphasis placed on passing that initial demo with a full background ready to go. But with Gogokid, they really want to see that you are prepared. They want to see a well-lit, clear, fun, and engaging classroom. So make sure that that is in place. Make sure that your classroom looks good. You don't have to go out and spend a lot of money or put hours and hours of effort into making the perfect looking classroom, but do have something that looks educational and make sure that you look like you are ready to receive students in your classroom as if the interview was your very first class. The second reason why Gogokid says that many applicants fail the interview is because of poor interview attendance. Now, this is probably one of the more rarer reasons for people failing, but basically it comes down to if you schedule the interview, do your very best to show up. You know, that goes back to being prepared and knowing that you are ready to do the interview when you go to schedule it. If that's the case, you're going to be more likely to follow through. But if you schedule it first, try to prepare, and then find that you're just not ready for it, you're more likely to cancel it within that 24-hour window. Try your very best to make sure that you are showing up to the interview when you schedule it. You know, Gogokid is having someone show up to interview you if it's a live interview, and so you don't want to be canceling multiple times, especially in a short amount of time. So if you do have to cancel and it's an absolute emergency, you know, let Gogokid know in advance with lots of notice and at least 24 hours if possible. Okay, so schedule the interview, make sure you show up, do your best, prepare, and you should be good to go. All right, reason number 3 that they cite for why Gogokid applicants are failing their interview is insufficient or ineffective use of ESL strategies. Now, under that example, they list a few. I am going to add on to that list, but the ones that they list are TPR, modeling, extension, and props and visual aids. So let's look at TPR, for example. You need to make sure that you are using TPR in the interview, that you are using TPR when you're instructing the student to do something like click or circle. You need to also use TPR when you are teaching new words, phrases, or helping the student to understand the content of the slide. So make sure that you are using a variety of TPR, and as well, it's a really great idea to encourage the student to do the TPR with you. TPR is not meant to be something that the teacher performs for the student. TPR is really something that you invite the student to do with you. So do use TPR on all the slides and understand how to do that as well. Okay, as well, they list modeling. Modeling is really important. You want to model for the student what you want them to do. You want to build that scaffolding in place so that the student understands what they should be doing on the slides. So if the student's having difficulty, you need to step in and model what it is you want them to do. Do you have a whiteboard to help them? Are you going to jump in and use some TPR or props? So gauge the student's level of understanding and step in to model if they need it. Okay, the Gogokid slides are pretty scarce with content, and so they really want to see that you know how to extend with a student. Extension is key in the Gogokid interview. Make sure that you have already thought about how you can extend the content with the student if they get it. If they get it right away, what question can you ask to extend their understanding while getting the student to also use those key vocabulary words that you've just taught, practiced, and had them apply. Okay, I'm going to add on to that with incidental language, error correction, and timing. So with incidental language, you really want to keep your incidental language very simple and make sure that you are getting the student to respond as much as possible. So in all of your Gogokid lessons when you're teaching students, we're really about getting the student to speak more, to engage more with the content, and ultimately to encourage them to be able to have conversations and feel confident in speaking English. So you want to get and elicit a lot of the speaking from the student. So this is not a show and performance from the teacher to speak as much as they can for the student. This is about speaking less and getting the student to speak more. All right, as well, error correction. Listen for the student's response. If you feel like they've mispronounced something, or they made a mistake, it's really important that you correct their errors. We do this positively with thumbs up and get the student to do it again and listen for their response. If they keep making a mistake, 2 or 3 times, you don't have time to dwell on that too much. Do address it, try to correct their errors positively and with lots of praise, and then move on. And finally, I wanted to talk about pacing and timing. It is important that you get through most of the slides, if not all of them. And so do your best to do that, but make sure that you are pacing yourself. So again, when you are practicing the demo slides, practice getting all of it in a short amount of time, effectively, and try not to spend too much time on certain slides, which will cause you to really have to hurry at the end to get through, and we don't want to do that. We want to give the student a good amount of time on each slide. Okay, I promised you that if you stuck around, I would give you the #1 tip that I can give you for passing your Gogokid interview, and it is not on that slide that you will see. It is be yourself. I can't stress this enough. You do not want to go into the interview having memorized a Gogokid interview that you saw on YouTube, including mine. I do have mine available, and many others do as well, and you're going to be able to find lots of ways of teaching the demo and the interview. Please, whatever you do, do not memorize the slides. Be yourself. Gogokid really wants to see your unique teaching style, your way of dealing with a student, and remember that every student is different. So memorizing a script is not advisable because it won't work with every student. So go in there as yourself, your unique personality, your teaching style, and do the best that you can with the student or pretend student that you have in front of you. Of course, this is your interview. So whether or not you feel energetic or animated or like smiling all the time, you need to do it for the Gogokid interview, okay? Now, when you get your own students, you of course can be a little bit more of yourself, but when you are in the interview, you want to kind of bring out all the stops, be energetic and a little bit over the top and smiling and lots of praise and just engaging with the student and making sure that they have a great time. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end and for hanging out with me for the last 10 minutes. I am so grateful for you. If you have any questions, you can send me an email or comment in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer you promptly. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Whatever you do, have a great day and be good to yourself and those around you. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.